Buzzketeers.
I'm Ashley.
I'm Nicole.
I'm Allie, and we're the Buzzketeers.
So today's episode is brought to you by Yuengling beer.
Ooh.
I don't usually drink beer, but I didn't want to get on the step stool to go get the hard liquor, so
Yuengling,
I
by
wish
the
I
way,
could joke, but it's
Yuengling, by the way, you can only get east of the Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really good.
That was the beer you were telling me about in Indiana, right?
Yeah, they just started selling it, I think, in 2018 in Indiana. So, yeah, and this beer is 100 years old or something like that. 200 years almost.
Yeah, and it's really good.
It's the best.
I love it. I tried it for the first time after, quick little anecdote about me. My mom moved to Tennessee a few years ago, and the first time I tried it, she took me out, and she's like, oh, you have to get a Yuengling while you're here. And I was like, what the heck is a Yuengling? She goes, it's like $3. It's cheap, it's good, it's refreshing. And I was like, okay.
It really is, though. It's
But the thing is, the first one I had, I was like, what's all the hype about? I don't understand why you're like, you need to try this. It's a good beer, but it's not like, listen, you've never had this, you gotta try it.
I feel like it is, though, because it's a super cheap beer that's super good. It's not the best beer in the world, but if you want good cheap beer, not Bud Light, because that's just water. And I can't drink Coors, but
it's trash.
Yeah, Yuengling is, oh man, I drink Yuengling all day.
No, Yuengling's great.
What are you drinking, Nicole?
I'm drinking the Hope's End again. I bought the 2 bottles, because it was $5 back when you bought 2 bottles at Target. So working on that second bottle now.
There you go.
Oh man.
I had to get my second beer because I'm already halfway done with the first one, and I didn't think I'd drink it that fast.
Beer it's so refreshing. That's the problem.
So fast.
Speaking of refreshing drinks and it being a problem, I've got some nice cold rosé here. Yes, it is Boda Box, but I only bought it because I wanted to try it. And it's not that bad. It said it was a dry rosé, and it's not as dry as I like a rosé, but it's something you can sip on. It's good for summer. So,
all right.
I'm drinking today.
Nice. I feel like
cheers.
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 Wait, lift the glass. Boom.
Don't let the Yuengling come out of your nose.
That would hurt so much.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
So this past week in Disney news, a big announcement was made that the Princess and the Frog is going to take over Spalsh Mountain.
Woo.
So I have mixed emotions on it. I'm really excited because the Princess and the Frog gets a ride, and it definitely deserves it just because of the music. But at the same time, I'm really sad because growing up, I didn't know that Spalsh Mountain was based on a racist movie.
Right.
And I think a part of it is because our generation was not exposed to it,
Yeah.
That's true.
I think of that ride and I don't think of Song of the South. I think of Zippity Doo-Dah.
Yeah.
Okay. And now it just it makes me sad to know that Disney song is most likely going to disappear into the Disney archives and the Disney vault, leaving us old people 20 years from now to be like, well, you know what? There was this ride and it had this really catchy song called Zippity Doo-Dah. And they're going to be like, what's that, Mom? And I'm going to be like, no, no.
I do have a question, though.
Yeah.
Because they do have meet and greets for Brer Bear and Brer Fox. So are those going to go away as well?
For Easter with the bunnies, I took a picture when we were working there with Brer Rabbit.
Oh, yeah. He never comes
gone,
out except for Easter, though.
Because that was
I know.
That was at the Big Thunder Ranch, RIP. So
yeah.
Galaxy's
But yeah,
Edge.
I kind of have mixed emotions about it. I personally, it's one of my favorite thrill rides at Disney. I just love the fact that you don't have to wear seatbelts.
No,
and you go
that's
down
great.
that drop.
Great.
But I do hate the wet tennis shoes at the end of it.
Yeah.
But but what are your guys' thoughts on it? What are your thoughts and expectations for it?
Well, I've never liked Spalsh Mountain. I've always been forced to ride it if I have to ride it. I don't think
we did force you that one day. I'm
yeah,
pretty
thanks
sure.
for that.
It was fun. You didn't get that wet.
Girl, one of my friends when I was in college forced me to ride it. And then I ended up in the front because she didn't want to be in the front. Sound familiar,
No.
Nicole?
Once again, Disney etiquette.
And then
Right
the
in
thing
front
is, like,
if you suggest.
my picture, my face just looks like I am hating my life. And I posted a picture of it on Instagram. And it was something like, go on Spalsh Mountain, they said. It'll be fun,
It'll be fun, they said.
Remember when that was a big trend going around?
I mean, I still use it every day.
Yeah, but I was like, this was the worst. And I think that was the last time I rode it until my mom made me ride it. But that time I had ponchos, which helped a lot. But I mean, like, overall, I just don't like that ride. I mean, I think Zippity Doo Dah, like, yeah, it is a fun, catchy tune. So I will miss, like, the nostalgic element of it, which with anything at Disney, if it goes away, you think back and you think of things more fondly than you might have in the past, right? So I might go like, oh man, I wish I had had that one last ride and heard this song. But also, like, I hate Spalsh Mountain because of what it is. So I don't know if I'll actually ever really miss it. I mean, the song is, you know, it's a fun, like, song to whistle, even though I can't whistle very well. But, like, it is what it is. But I think moving forward is a really good thing for Disney. And yeah, unlike some people think, Imagineers take a very long time to think of things. So it's not like this was all of a sudden like, oh, we'll just do Princess and the Frog. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it was definitely something that was pre-planned.
Yeah,
they said they'd been planning it for a year. I do wonder if, like, maybe though they'd been planning it for a year as in, like, they were thinking of ideas to replace it, and then people were like, replace it with Princess and the Frog, and they were like, well, someone had that idea, so let's do it.
I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me, but one of my questions is just like, what's going to happen to Critter Country?
Yeah. So my thoughts on it have evolved a bit since Ashley, you first texted us about it, and I told you guys my thoughts. But at first I was like, I don't know about the theming. Like, I absolutely think Spalsh Mountain should be rethemed, because the only reason they did Spalsh Mountain was because they had the America Sings animatronics, and they wanted to come up with something that could go with that.
Yeah.
By the time Spalsh Mountain came out, Song of the South was not a movie Disney was releasing, and they will never release it again, so it doesn't really make sense to have a ride based on the movie. It was just to save money. But at first I was like, I don't know about Princess and the Frog, because, like, at least in Disneyland it kind of makes sense, because it's like, okay, it's near New Orleans, and
I was gonna say that.
Yeah, I guess for Critter Country it's like, okay, there's critters in this, cool. For Disney World, it's in Frontierland, which is a little bit weird. But the more I thought about it, the more I was like, you know what? Theming, I don't think it should matter in this case, because this is a ride that absolutely should be redone. The only thing I'm a little bit still iffy on for Princess and the Frog being what replaces it is Spalsh Mountain is a ride that you either love or you hate, because it's a water ride. It's also a ride not every kid can ride because of height requirements, and also some kids are just scared of Spalsh Mountain because it's the biggest drop in the park. So I would be sad if kids who, like, their favorite princess is Tiana or their favorite movie is Princess and the Frog, if they can't ride that ride just because it's Spalsh Mountain.
I'm really eager to see, like, what happens. I just want there to be really good music from the original movie, because it's supposed to take place afterwards, which is fine, no big deal. But if you think about it, they have, like, swamp scenes and stuff like that. So I feel like some of the work is already done in terms of, like, setting up the areas, you know, because, like, there's the one part where you're, like, where they're all talking about the laughing place, and it's all swamp. So it's like they're partway done. Like, they don't have to do as much work necessarily as if they were, like, going to completely, you know, like what they had to do for, like, another ride.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like, I don't know. I just want there to be good music, because to me, the best part about Princess and the Frog is that jazz music.
Yeah.
That New Orleans jazz.
I would love to hear Going Down the Bayou in that, because that is, like, my favorite Princess and the Frog song.
They need to play that before you go through the drop.
Yes.
And then you go down the drop, and then it's all dig a little deeper from there and out.
Ooh.
Where would Facilier fit in, do you think?
I wonder if they're going to put him in.
I don't know, because he's not alive.
But Zippity Doodah does have a moment, you know, where like they're like, oh, let me go, right? So they could put something in where, because otherwise, I mean, what's the story really going to be? That I think would be my biggest question with Princess.
According to the blog, it's going to be Tiana and Louis getting ready for their first Mardi Gras performance after the kiss. So Tiana's got her restaurant. Facilier is gone.
Yeah.
He was. Yeah. So I'm wondering if there's going to
be any Facilier.
Just be if there's going to be any kind of villain, or you know, and how that's going to work out. Well, I'm kind of sad because Ray's not going to be in it.
Oh yeah.
Like Ray's like my favorite character from that.
Well, I guess technically he could be in it if they put in the stars.
Oh,
so.
You know they will. You know they will.
Look, there's like 50 Rays up there.
I'm sure though, I'm sure it'll be good. It will probably look awesome no matter what. And I'm going to have to overcome my dislike of Spalsh Mountain to ride it because I absolutely want to ride a Princess and the Frog ride.
I'll ride it once, but I'm wearing a poncho.
I think I need to overcome the whole nostalgia factor because you guys know me. I really don't like change, even though it's one of the most consistent things about the parks is that things are constantly changing. So that being said, when it comes to rides that you would replace and do a complete new layover of, Nicole, what's your ride?
Well, I think the submarine voyage really needs to be redone because Nemo is kind of whatever for me. And I actually kind of want it to be something that the Imagineers wanted to do back in, I think, the early 2000s. There was a small amount of time where they were considering doing, oh gosh, what do they call it? I always think of Journey to Atlantis, but that's a SeaWorld ride. Atlantis, the Lost Empire. They were going to do, they were considering doing an Atlantis layover for, or not layover, refurb, I guess, retheming for the submarine voyage. And I think that would be really cool.
I think that'd be cool too. I think that it's just too late for that though.
Is it though?
Unfortunately, but also at the same time, I think there's a lot of people right now who have nostalgia for the early 2000s movies.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, that's true. Can you believe that movie's like almost 20 years old?
Shush.
No, but really though, like that, I think that's what, like, I think we had talked on our underrated movies.
Did it?
I don't know if it made our list or not, but I know that either on the podcast or off, we were talking about that one. It's a completely underrated film.
It is. Didn't Michael J. Fox voice Milo?
Yes, Michael J. Fox was the voice of Milo.
I love him. I love Back to the
I saw
he's
Back
great.
to the
Spin City is really good too.
That's interesting though. Like I think in Atlantis retheme of the submarines would be really interesting.
Yeah, because Nemo just doesn't quite fit with Tomorrowland.
No. Unless tomorrow we think fish are going to be able to talk.
I mean, according to the Pixar universe, they do.
Yeah. I mean, they talk to each other. But, yeah. Or I would love to have seen what would have happened with Tomorrowland had Treasure Planet done well.
Ooh, yes.
Because I feel like Treasure Planet could make a great ride.
It really, really could. I didn't even think about that one.
What happened to the Innovations building?
It's
the Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, Launch Bay now.
That's what it's called. I called it Star Wars stuff. Basically the same thing. Nothing happens there.
They don't even use the top floor anymore. It's just the lower floor. It's for meet and greets and shopping.
Mm-hmm. Shopping to spend, what, $400 on like a light cardigan that's supposed to look like Jedi robes.
Yeah.
Anyway, we can talk about Disney and overpricing later. I actually also was thinking of Atlantis being a ride.
Oh, nice.
Really?
But I didn't go for the submarines.
Ooh.
I went for something that you're going to think is going to be really out of character. I went for pirates.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
But that's your favorite ride.
I know. I love Pirates, but the layout of Pirates with the 2 drops makes sense, right? So you're going down into Atlantis. And like where right now where the Jolly Roger is talking to you, there could be like this fog waterfall. Remember they did a refurb a while ago with like Dead Man's Chest.
I miss the fog. Ashley, have you been
They got rid of it?
Have you been on it since they changed the redhead?
No.
That's so good.
It's so good, honestly. That section where Davy Jones was, it's real good, actually.
No, I love it.
I just want to go to Disneyland now. You guys suck.
It's closed, so don't even worry.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, as much as I love Pirates, I think it would be a great location for something like Atlantis, which could be something like Milo's Underwater Adventure, like something lame title like that, because it's always going to be a lame title because it's Disney. As much as I love Disney, the titles usually suck. You know they do. They always put like Indiana Jones Adventure. Like, no, you're in a Jeep and you're skidding around on a track. Like, no, like that's not an adventure. That's like a, am I gonna fall out and die? But it's fine. I digress. But yeah, so like if at where the Davy Jones, good Lord, now I'm on that. Where the Jolly Roger is chilling at the beginning before that drop.
The skull guy.
My cat's telling me this is a bad idea. Yes, the skull guy, for putting that in layman's terms.
They
it
might
could
not
be
know.
like something where you hear, you know, like just like a quick thing about like what, like the, what's it called? The myth, the legend that is Atlantis, and how like nobody's ever discovered it. And then you have this fog, and then you end up going down these drops, and then it comes out, and you've got like throughout you see like how Milo meets Kita, and they could possibly add in like pyro, where, you know, like the volcano battle scene could have some pyro in there. Don't know how well that would do underground. I don't know. I'm not an Imagineer. And then at the end, like where they have Jack right now kind of waving at you to say bye, like that could be where you could see like Milo and Kita together, like saying bye, like we're part of Atlantis, like thanks for visiting. But like I feel like that'd be a
really
cool track for it.
And it could blend into Adventureland well.
Exactly. See, I thought this through. But also like I really hope Disney never replaces Pirates of the Caribbean. Please never replace Pirates of the Caribbean. It's my favorite ride.
So I was thinking similarly with replacing Pirates, but not necessarily actually replacing it, but doing something where it's a ride similar to Pirates. I want a Moana ride.
Oh.
So, but it would literally start with her getting past the reef. So that those first 2 drops are her getting through the reef.
Okay.
And then it's her learning how to sail, and then as you're going through it, and then before the end, like a big scene would be like with the grandma. And then I like feel like that would be like where the cannons are going off. Like that would be the big scene with her grandma, and then from then on out, it's all just the fight scene. It'd be a really long fight scene, but that's why I say like a track similar, like something similar to Pirates, where it's not so long. But I feel like that would be really, really cool.
What other boat rides are there? All I can think of is like in World, where they have
Small World.
Can we please replace Small World? I understand the significance of it, but like nobody actually likes it. Okay.
I do.
I hate
you
it.
guys do not like anything that I really like.
Why are we friends? God.
It's
kidding.
Because we bought each other booze.
Yeah.
I also bought you pizza.
We know too much about each other to not have each other in our lives anymore.
Our hands have lovingly graced each other's cheeks at some point.
Anyway, so yeah, I think a Moana ride would do really good right there, because I do think it really does tie into Adventureland, and it gives Adventureland more. And I really think that with Princess and the Frog taking over Spalsh Mountain, that they should just get rid of Critter Country. I know they probably won't do it, and just expand New Orleans.
I feel like Critter Country should stay its own area, but I have an idea. Critter Bayou. Kind of like an extension of New Orleans, because it is still part of New Orleans, but its own land in that it's different.
What if they just renamed Critter Country to the Bayou?
Yeah, like Critter Bayou.
Yeah, that could be cool.
Mm-hmm.
You need to.
No,
the
I'm
thing
saying
is,
just
if they
leave
do that,
Critter out of it.
If they do that, if they make it like the Bayou, whatever, they need to do something more to do like a reference to Tia Dalma for Pirates of the Caribbean.
Ooh.
Right?
Yes.
Even if she just has like a little shop or something, like a little apothecary, that'd be cool.
I was also like, well, since Spalsh Mountain is getting redone, Briar Patch will also be redone probably.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering what they'll turn that into, shop-wise.
No.
Who knows? We'll see.
The Imagineers do. We need to know. We need an in. Imagineers.
So, or Hungry Bear. What will? I mean, if Critter Country was to be redone,
can Tiana get her own restaurant? Please?
Tiana's Palace, please.
That would be fantastic.
And then, but then they'd have to move the beignets over there too.
Or have them in 2 places.
I wouldn't hate that because the line is always long.
Yeah.
Even if you do mobile order ahead, which is like a joke that we don't talk about.
You guys talk about stuff like that, and I'm just like, they have mobile order now? I feel
mobile order is great if someone does it right.
Mobile order is great for beer carts.
Except for that one time, Allie. You remember when we mobile ordered?
And then we stood there for 10 minutes? Yeah, I remember.
On the pier, because they didn't have mobile order set up right. You're supposed to say, I'm here. They make your drink. No, there was a line for mobile order, and they just went for whoever was in line next.
Yep.
Not how mobile order works.
It also didn't work once, and neither of you know this, but when I went to World in a couple years ago, I don't know what year it is anymore. It's 2020, right? What is 2020? It's not a real year. We're all just having like a psychedelic dream. Really. But I did mobile order because we were all in line for Dole Whip in World, where there's like this huge booth where you can get Dole Whip, and the line was not moving. And so cast members were like, oh, do mobile ahead. You can get it right away. They told everyone in line to do it. And so even though I was at the front of the line at the time, and I was like, oh, for sure, and I did it, people who were behind me in the original line got their orders first. And I was like, I literally and so I ended up standing in line longer, waiting for this to be prepared for me than I would have if I just stayed in line in the first place. So, like, there's definitely flaws within the system, but, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, speaking of flaws, I think there are a few rides at Disneyland that have flaws that I would love to see rethemed and refurbished. My big ride that I would love to see redone is Matterhorn.
Ooh.
Oh.
And what I want to see is the ride into Yzma's lair.
Wait a second, that's genius.
Because think about it. They always end up top and then they always end up going down.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how the logistics of it would work because you still have to go up, but think of it as like...
When you're going up, you can see like all the potions or something and see things turning into llamas and stuff?
No, I think that the adventure, or doing like the mountain adventure, when it's just like, how did they get here when they went down on the mountain?
Oh, that part and like the loopy-doo?
Like chasing?
Yeah.
Yes. Like, I think something like that would be so awesome. I think the Matterhorn is a great ride. However, even after they replace all the tracks, it still gives me like whiplash and all this other stuff.
I get a headache every time I ride it.
It's a little painful.
You know what? And it's just like, for me, it's just like, am I getting old now that I feel like this? Because I didn't feel like that as a kid.
I've always gotten a headache from riding that ride. Every single time. It's so jostly.
Yeah,
and the thing is, it was better when you literally straddled each other because then you could hold on to somebody and be like, oh, we're going through this together, but now it's separate.
Make sure whoever has it in front of you has a ponytail, though, and if they have long hair, because then it's like all up and in your face.
I have a quick story about that, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Remember, I don't know if I was with either of you, but I was with somebody in the program.
You were with me, I think, because I feel like I know exactly what this is.
Yep. We were on Space Mountain. Literally don't have control over your hair. And this lady behind us kept saying, your hair's hitting me in the face, and was like yelling at us. And we're like, sorry, like it's literally not my fault. Like it's a roller coaster. So I spent the whole time like this, like is it fine now?
It's just so hard. Like I try to keep my hair in on coasters because I have long hair.
You do.
But
it's really nice long hair though.
Oh, thank you. But it's so tough sometimes. Like I try and hold my hair, but that like takes away from the enjoyment of it.
Because you can't have fun. Because you're just this the whole time. You're like, oh, is it hitting somebody? Let me just Rapunzel this and just hold it over my shoulder and pretend I'm braiding it all pretty. Like what am I supposed to do on a roller coaster?
Yeah, true.
I think that if they had a Rapunzel thing where they just braided your hair, I think that would make a lot of money.
100%. And they added like extensions and stuff.
I mean,
Yes.
that's basically
I
the
wanna do
Bibbidi
that now.
Bobbidi Boutique.
Yeah, but like
imagine
for
it
adults.
Adults, yes.
That's the thing. Like Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, whatever. Like do something for the adults, right? Like we want to
True.
be pampered too.
True. Oh man.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
would you bulldoze the Matterhorn, or would you keep
Because that's the thing. It's literally shaped like the Matterhorn Mountain.
See,
ooh, make it like the face?
emotions. But like, because the Matterhorn it's fantastic in terms of, you know, the history that it has. So I don't want to demolish it because it's iconic. You can't take the Matterhorn away. I genuinely feel like 100 years from now it's going to be there, because when you think of Disneyland and you think of Main Street, you know, the hub, it's there. Like,
yeah.
So I don't think I would tear it down, but it sure as hell won't look like the Matterhorn when I'm done with it on the exterior.
See, my idea, if I were to come up with like a ride, I would completely bulldoze a section to go with like the new theming. So Pixar Pier took over Paradise Pier, as we all know.
Okay, so you're gonna bulldoze it and replace it with Paradise Pier, right?
No.
Broke my heart.
Bring it back.
For the ride that for years, I think Disney has not taken like the obvious choice to do. So Goofy's Sky School, I hate it.
It's the worst.
Bulldoze it. It's painful. It sucks. No one cares for it. Bulldoze it. Replace it with a new coaster, a Monsters Inc. coaster, which is a Danglefoot. I think that's the technical term, where it's the doors. You sit on the doors, just like the door scene where they're all flying through in Monsters Inc., and that is the coaster.
Would that be amazing. An indoor coaster, though, or would you have them build a building for it? I feel like it would have to be an indoor coaster.
I would have it indoor for sure, because imagine going through kids' rooms as well.
And they're like screaming as you go past.
Yes. So
you're the monster.
I don't know if have either of you guys been to NOCC?
No.
I went once a long time ago.
I wish I did, but I never did.
I'm thinking like Silver Bullet style. Like Silver Bullet is one of my favorite roller coasters. It's just so fun, so good. But it has the feet hanging down. Danglefoot, I think, is the term. But inside, going through like kids' rooms, so you have theming and you have fun.
It sounds like it would be something like Top Gun at Great America.
Ooh, never been there.
Me either.
You've never been to Great America, Allie?
Should I have? Where is it?
It's down in Santa Clara.
Nope, never been there.
So
I know there was a road trip to go, but I never, or like a field trip, but I never went on the field trip.
So back in the day, it used to be Paramount's Great America, and it used to be neat. So all the rides and stuff had like Paramount movie themes. So one of them was called Top Gun, because Top Gun was big in the 80s. But then I want to say in the early 2000s, Paramount sold it, and now I think the state of California owns it. I don't know who does, but now they don't have anything Paramount. So they renamed everything, and everything's like got Snoopy and stuff.
Oh, it's probably Cedar Fair then.
Probably.
They own NOCC.
Probably. But yeah, now they renamed it, but I'm just like, oh, it's Top Gun. And they're like, it's not Top Gun anymore. And I'm like, it's Top Gun. But yeah, it's like a local-ish to you amusement park. They have a couple good rides. My mom worked back there in the 80s, so I told my mom, I was like, we're moving on up, Mom. You worked at Great America. I worked at Disneyland.
Aw.
What's next?
There's nothing above.
I was like, is there anything above? I'm like, I could say Disney World, but is that really a step up?
No, that's the Florida project, we lovingly call it sometimes.
So, but yeah, I think a Monsters Inc. ride would be great. Like a thrill ride.
Well, because did they get rid of the other Monsters Inc. ride?
The Mike and Sully? Not yet, but I think they're planning on getting rid of Mike and Sully to the rescue, which is not the ride that Monsters Inc. should have. Everyone knows. Everyone who is a coaster fan knows the door scene is an obvious coaster.
Well, duh.
So make it a ride, Imagineers.
I think that they've struggled the most with that area of Hollywood Studios, though.
Mm-hmm.
Is it called
Well,
Hollywood
the thing
Studios?
is, they
I
should
call it
bring
Hollywood.
back. They should
Hollywood
bring
Land.
back Tron, because that block party for Tron was the
Electronica.
best.
That was the best.
Like, they moved on to Mad Tea Party, which like was fun like once, but Tron, every time you went was super fun because people actually wanted to dance there. And like it was like Disney all of a sudden had a club inside of it, and it was like, oh heck yeah, I'll go and I'll hang out at Electronica with you. Like, why not? And just do that and nothing else.
Yeah.
But then they changed it and they ruined it.
I feel like Hollywoodland is really a strange area right now. I feel like it all needs to just go to Avengers, because with the change of Tower of Terror to Guardians, Hollywoodland has one ride that's not even Hollywood themed. So
And then they have Frozen.
Yeah, they have Frozen. So it's like, what's the point? Just change
What's at the Muppet Theater now? Oh, not the Silly Symphony, but it's the Donald Duck one, right?
Disney PhilharMagic. Yep.
Oh, I love the PhilharMagic.
Yep. But it just doesn't make any sense. It's like Hollywoodland should cease to exist at this point, because without Tower of Terror, it's nothing.
So let's move on then to like what our next idea was. Let's say if we wanted to change up Hollywoodland, what would we change it to? What would we do with it? First of all, I'd say let's get rid of Frozen, because Frozen sucks. But anyway, let's move on to that point. Hollywoodland should not have. Is it called Hollywoodland?
It's called
like
Hollywoodland.
Is it Hollywoodland or is it like the Hollywood backlot?
Hollywood Boulevard? I don't know.
Remember. But the thing is, so I mean, I don't think we talked about this before we started recording, but California Adventure was literally different parts of California that you could adventure through, right? So it used to be, you walked in and you had the Golden Gate Bridge. So you're in San Francisco. You walk down, you go to the left, you end up in Hollywood, right? So SoCal, like, you're going to be a star. That's why they have that backdrop where you can take pictures.
Right. To the right is Redwoods.
Yeah. And then to the right is NorCal. You have the Redwoods, you have the River Run, you have all that kind of stuff. So it kind of covers all the bases of what California is. But now we're kind of going away from that. So on that note, let's say we change the Hollywood area, right? Because not much is really happening there. What do you think we should do with it? What would we ideally want to do with it?
So before we go that, I'm going to just go off on a tangent. I don't think that, so originally, yes, the California Adventure was based on the state of California, but now I think of it as it's still an adventure, because everything about it's all based in California.
Frozen's based in Norway.
No, you're overthinking it. You're thinking
Guardians of the Galaxy is based in space.
You're thinking stop. You're thinking way too far into it.
Pixar Pier is God knows where.
I guess, where is Pixar?
Where's Pixar Studios, California?
Where's
I guess.
Exactly.
I guess.
Now I do. It is. I think that it's like I really do think it's.
But
it's
I also feel like
something like that. I would rather see it the way it was.
I feel like you're reaching a little bit.
I'm not reaching.
Also,
we're not gonna go into this.
What? Like Ariel's Undersea Adventure or Grotto, whatever the heck that thing's called.
I don't know why that's
not
there,
in California.
I know
it's a great ride, but like.
Yeah, that ride should really go in Fantasyland.
Goofy Sky School is still there, and they redid Pixar Pier, and
Monsters Inc.
No, but that would totally tie in with Pixar Pier.
It would tie in with Pixar Pier. I'm going with what Disney is currently going towards.
Why didn't they get rid of Sky School? Isn't that... Wait, hold on. Time out.
They're
Why
lazy.
didn't they get rid of the Zephyr ride?
They haven't gotten rid of the front half of the pier before the bridge. That's all still like Boardwalk California theme park style. So for those of you who aren't Californians
or haven't been to Disneyland California Adventure,
there's a lot of these boardwalk style theme parks on beaches, and that's what Paradise Pier was based off of. Now it's Pixar Pier, but we still have also half of the California boardwalk style theme park stuff. So it's very weird.
Yeah, it's just a very mixed
boardwalk at that point.
It's like a mishmash now. Like it's not fully realized anymore.
No. Huh. Anyway, we're not going to talk about Little Mermaid. That's my favorite.
No,
right
we're
there.
okay. So anyway, we're redoing Hollywood. What are we doing?
I don't know. I feel like it should all just become Avengers Land at this point, unfortunately.
Yeah, with what Disney is doing, Avengers has to be the way to go. If we weren't doing Avengers Campus, then I would say still continue with Hollywood Land, but
isn't that what like Bugs Land is going to become though? Like all Marvel?
Yes, but why would the Hollywood section be there for what? 2 attractions?
For Tony Stark, literally just for Tony Stark.
So say we kept it Hollywood, it would be there for nothing, basically. It's just a strip of shops.
You know what they should replace Frozen with? A condensed version of the Broadway musical for Spider-Man.
Or do the play that they did in Thor Ragnarok, where Loki was the hero.
I don't hate that. I do not hate that at all.
But they would have so much room for different kinds of attractions if they really want to commit to this Avengers.
Well, don't they have like 2 or 3 empty buildings over there?
Yes.
Yeah. So they could have so much room if they wanted to fully commit to this Marvel theme.
I don't know. I like the nostalgia factor though of like the whole. So I don't know.
I love the area. I love it as it is because the only people who truly like commit to this idea of I love California and I want to see a theme park based on California are Californians.
Honestly, I can't blame them for changing it because of that reason, because it meant a lot to me because I'm going to say I was a Californian. I mean, like, I'm a California girl at heart, but I don't live there anymore. And I honestly probably never will. But, like, I can understand, like, why they had to make changes to make it more appealing. Because before, even with Tower of Terror, like, Hollywood Land, really not that big of a deal. Like, how many people actually enjoyed the Muppets every time they went and wanted to go and see the Muppets?
Me.
And it was a huge thing.
Me.
So there's one person. There's me.
I never even saw the Muppets show.
What?
At one point, it just became something where we could sit on the floor and relax and didn't have to be on our feet while we waited to go and see the show. And then I kid you not, it was a great place to take a nap. And I love the Muppets. I want more of the Muppets. I'm stoked that they're getting a new series on Disney+.
Yes.
It's gonna be fantastic. I can't tell you how many times I've been singing Rainbow Connection lately. It's an ungodly amount. The Muppets are fantastic, and I wish that the Muppets did better because I would love to still have the Muppets at the
I love the Muppet Show.
Yeah, it's good.
I love the Muppet Show, but should they be in a theme park?
They should have their own theme park. I'm kidding. No, I know.
What could you really base off of the Muppets?
Nothing. You'd have to have a show.
Yeah.
You would have. Wait. What if instead of Frozen at Hyperion, they actually did a Muppet show?
I would go. I would see that. I think that would be really fun. And then they could have some audience interaction too, because it wouldn't just be like a recording.
Yeah.
That could be fun.
I mean, or they could bring back Aladdin. Either way, I'm happy.
I mean, I'm always on team bring back Aladdin because that show was phenomenal and I would see it at least once a week when I worked there.
I make the salt and pepper shaker joke like at least once a week.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
I like it when he's just like, I'm gonna go find Nemo.
Yep.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't know what to retheme Hollywood Land as. I genuinely don't, because I like the idea of having the animation building.
I love the animation building.
What could happen then is to like revamp Hollywood Land and make it more, not more modern, but just make it more in your face Hollywood, right? Rather than just kind of being like an off to the wayside, kind of like, oh yeah, you kind of walk through there to get somewhere else. Because that's kind of what it is.
But I think the problem with revamping it, trying to make it more modern, is the simple fact that Hollywood today isn't what Hollywood was in the back in the day. And I say that because there's this like nostalgia with the 1930s and 1940s Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
That if you watch the show Hollywood on Netflix, you'll be like, it wasn't that great.
It was okay.
Yeah, it was okay.
Never heard of it.
Oh, you should watch it. It's pretty good.
Hey, it stars Darren Criss.
Yeah.
Hey.
But, you know, like, you think of, that's like the golden era of movies, and that's why we're so nostalgic about it. And today, movies are kind of made by everybody and anyone.
Mhm.
Celebrities aren't limited to actors and actresses anymore. It's literally anyone. I mean, if this podcast took off, we could be celebrities.
True.
I'm okay with that not happening.
I would love for this to take off, but I do like privacy, so
exactly.
I did not want to be a celebrity.
If it takes off, that's great. Thank you to our audience. But if it doesn't, or even if it does, I mean, like, privacy is a sacred thing, and you're right. Like, celebrities don't get privacy.
Yeah.
Wait, what if something that was an experience is if they just put, like, old school version, but, like, some paparazzi?
They
like,
did that. Before the Mike and Sully ride, it was a celebrity limo ride.
Yeah.
And there was
oh my
paparazzi.
God.
It was not
forgot
good.
about that. No,
It
not
was
that.
terrible.
No, I mean like characters in the park. Like, you know how they have the Main Street or the Buena Vista Street characters?
Five and Dime?
Add in a few, no, not just Five and Dime. The characters just like walk around and chill out. Add in like some paparazzi and like go up to kids dressed as princesses and like Avengers and stuff and make them feel like they have the Hollywood treatment. Like I think that'd be really cool, actually.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
That just brings me back to the GSO days of asking
I
kids
was
for their
thinking about that too.
It's funny because one of my trainees, she was like, can I ask this like girl dressed up as Cinderella for her autograph? And I was like, yeah, go for it.
100% always ask the kids. They love it.
Yeah. So this little girl dressed up as Cinderella, she asked for her autograph. The cutest.
I feel like whether you are 3 Disney fans, such as ourselves, or an Imagineer trying to look at Hollywoodland and try and revamp it, it's going to be a huge challenge just because there's so many different ways to take it.
100%.
So if you have ideas and you have thoughts on what Hollywoodland should be, make sure you reach out to us on Instagram. We're also on Twitter. Let us know your thoughts. We would definitely love to hear it. Thank you so much for listening. Please like, subscribe on YouTube as well. I'm Ashley.
I'm Nicole.
I'm Allie.
We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.